So hello everybody to the session of the SAP Fieldglass integration add-on release update. We will start with a presentation very soon. All right, then let's start. Again, another hello everybody. My name is Mario Kirsten. I'm the product owner of the SAP Fieldglass integration add-on and also leading the Fieldglass practice within ASAPIO. I'm happy and proud to share with you the update of our October release for the SAP Fieldglass integration add-on in the next couple of minutes. So what is the plan for today? So first of all, giving you an update on, let's say, the highlights of the October release, which is officially the Service Pack 12, which equals also the Feature Pack 11. So whatever term you read or hear, the October release of the Fieldglass integration add-on is Feature Pack 11, Service Pack 12. Good. Let's start with a couple of highlights in our October release. And the first thing I want to mention and describe to you is the general availability of the assets integration. So for those of you who saw the release update for our April release this year, we also had that on the slide that we implemented the integration of the asset as a cost object from SAP into SAP Fieldglass as a master data and as a transactional data just for a very specific use case, which was the purchase order direct scenario. And the reason for that was it was a co-innovation together with one of our customers using the add-on. And now with the October release, we extended that functionality to all the transactional data processes. So as I said, with the April release, we had it only available for the purchase order direct scenario, but now we have the assets as cost objects in our transaction integrations available for every transaction and every process variant in our transactional data integration. So independent if it's the purchase requisition, purchase order, service entry sheet, and invoice, and independent if we do have a delta purchase requisition process for our revisions or a purchase requisition change process, it's now generally available. So for all customers or for all your clients who are now interested to using an asset as a cost object in Fieldglass, this is now possible. So just to repeat, it's part of the master data streams now, part of the standard content to create, update, and deactivate the assets as a cost object code in Fieldglass, and then utilize the cost object codes of the new account category A then within your transactional process in Fieldglass, starting with the job posting or with an SOW. Then, as a next highlight, I want to mention, and I'm happy that we have it here on the slides for the October release, is our integration dashboard. So the integration dashboard is an application that exists within the add-on since a couple of releases, was built also together with a customer as a co-innovation. So collecting their requirements, and the main intention of that integration dashboard is not to be another monitoring tool, because a monitoring tool is available in the add-on since the very beginning, but is always supposed to be an administrator tool used by administrators. But the integration dashboard is even heavier, but more easy to consume, because it's supposed to be used by business users. So business users who have a certain problem or a scenario where they want to check where's my process currently sitting, because I would expect that the purchase order has been already released or sent to the supplier, but this didn't happen yet in Fieldglass, and I have a problem. So they can check in that integration dashboard where's the object sitting. Do I have a problem in the integration between Fieldglass and my ERP system? And can navigate from the result list of that integration dashboard into the various objects and views to get the detailed information to identify if I either have a problem or if everything is okay status-wise. And with that integration dashboard, we extended the functionalities heavily with that October release, and it starts with a pretty cool function to get the real-time status for all kind of transactions in Fieldglass. So in the dashboard that sits as an application within the add-on, you are now able to see the real-time status from Fieldglass for timesheets, expense sheets, the SOW payment characteristics, the work orders, as well as the SOWs. And for that, to make that available, we are now able to configure reports into the add-on to pull the status from Fieldglass frequently to be able to display this in the dashboard. Another really nice extension of the dashboard is now the ability to execute it in the background, because for those customers who have a huge volume of transactions in their system, and then dependent on the search criteria that they put into the dashboard, it could take a while until the result list is being displayed to the user. And sometimes you have the requirement to get a full list of something or a big list as an overview. And for that, we are now able to support executing that search in the dashboard in the background, and then decide if I either want to get the result list later out of the spool list from my system, or if it should generate an Excel spreadsheet, and that Excel spreadsheet should be sent to your email address once the search is finished. Furthermore, in the integration dashboard, we also extended the information that is displayed in the result list. So, and this is then dependent on the search or the objects that are being displayed. So it's a generic view, and depending on the objects you are searching for, the result list looks different. So what is when you're now, for example, looking for timesheets, expense sheets, and the SOW payment characteristics, you're now also able to get the original transaction ID as well as the revision number displayed in that result list. And for purchase requisitions, purchase orders, timesheets, expense sheets, and the SOW payment characteristics, you are now also able to see the vendor code, the vendor name, the company code name as new values in that result list that you can, of course, then configure to your individual view for the output. And on top of that, the selection criteria that you can put in to the dashboard to get your results has also been extended. So for example, when you're looking for a specific timesheet or expense sheet and SOW characteristic, you can now also search for a specific IDOC number or IDOC status of a service entry sheet, as well as for an invoice. You can search for a vendor, and you can search also by company code. And the search by company code has also been extended when you're looking for a specific purchase requisition or a purchase order. Another highlight, I would say, in our October release is the report to identify the cleared invoices. So the report that then triggers the status update to Fieldglass to set the invoice into a paid status. So that report, that solution exists also since the very beginning of the add-on. as an ABAP report that is supposed to be scheduled as a background job via the old SAP GUI transaction SM36. The downside was if customers would like to use the newer Fiori app to schedule background jobs, this standard ABAP report was simply not visible to choose, because you would have to implement a new object for that. So this is now available. So for all customers who are using the add-on in the S4 system, and want to use the Fiori app for scheduling background jobs instead of the old SM36, they are now also able to schedule the report that is frequently checking for cleared invoices and updating the status of the Fieldglass invoice. Good. Then a couple of slides for other new topics that are released with our new feature pack. One thing is that I want to mention is we worked on a better robustness of our service entry sheet posting process. So we identified from time to time some problems with the service entry sheet that could reside on a wrong cost object has been selected by the end user in Fieldglass and sent to the ERP system, or a wrong account category has been chosen by the end user in Fieldglass, or somebody changed or adjusted the field mapping in the add-on without knowing the details how it really should work, and this could result in, let's say, in a problem that the service entry sheet is not being able to post, but the system didn't expect these kind of errors before. So now we build in fallback scenarios and better error handling for these specific cases that we saw in the past, to send either back the corresponding error message directly to Fieldglass, or to show the problem that really exists in the monitoring of the add-on. Then we also extended our logic for master data interfaces for those customers who use the plant maintenance order operation as a master data object in Fieldglass. And here we had specific cases that you can lock the plant maintenance order. So the plant maintenance order is the header object of all the operations that are underneath. And so when you lock the header object, you want to, of course, send all the operations underneath also as a deleted or inactive status to Fieldglass. And that was not the case until our October release, and now we have that logic extended. So all operations underneath a plant maintenance order, which is going to be just locked or closed or whatever, all the operations are then also sent to Fieldglass in that status, that you are not able to use it anymore. And then the two on the bottom of the screen for our master data interfaces for plant maintenance order operations again, but also for the WBS interfaces. We released new versions of those interfaces, because our existing versions extracted the data based on predefined status of that object in the ERP system, which is typically the object is in a released and or technically completed status to be sent to Fieldglass and to be consumed in Fieldglass, and they are sent as deleted or as deactivated once they are going in a closed status or locked status or some of those various statuses. Now we deliver new versions of those interfaces where every customer can freely configure that status network and say, I want to send the object only when it's in release status, but not when it's in technically completed, for just as a simple example. Or we have additional statuses created for released, and then it's released version 1 or released version 2 or whatever. So this is now freely configurable in the system to send the PM order operations and the WBS elements based on the customer specific status configuration. Good. What else to mention? We have an update on what cost object owner is sent to the Fieldglass cost object for PM order operation, internal order, network, as well as WBS elements. So we also extended here the functionality to look on a second person responsible field that is available on those objects in the ERP system. The logic in the past was look at the owner field of that specific cost object. If there is no owner maintained, then check with the cost center that is maintained in those cost objects where the costs are being settled, and take the owner from there, or the responsible person from there. And now this logic has been extended to check as a second step in a free text field that is available on those cost objects, where you can also maintain a responsible person. And only if that is then not maintained, then we are going to the cost center where the costs are being settled. And then a very specific use case for the SOW upload, so from the ERP system into Fieldglass, so for all the ERP initiated processes. So you can have a specific configuration set up in Fieldglass, which is called GLA, allocation on job posting and statements of work is required. What does it mean? It means that you have to distribute the general ledger account value by value or by amount, not only on a header level, but additionally also on the child event hierarchy level. So this feature, if you have that configured in your Fieldglass system, in your Fieldglass tenant, there is now also a configuration available in the add-on, that the add-on now knows, okay, I do have that setting, so I have to populate the values in that XML for the SOW revision upload in a very specific case. Good. So far, so good to the release updates. I wanted to mention that we get with the October release. Now just have a brief look to our roadmap, what we are working on for the next release and even for the future, just as an outlook for you. One thing that I definitely want to mention here is we are now finally working on the multi-line work order integration. Some of you might remember that I had this roadmap item on previous presentations already for prior releases. But this was technically simply not feasible to build this between Fieldglass and the add-on. Now it becomes technically feasible with the Fieldglass December release. So we are working on to create multi-line or to support multi-line work orders, which means customers using the spend metrics functionality on a work order in Fieldglass can do this now, and we support this with the add-on, creating purchase requisitions and purchase orders with multiple line items as well. Then a thing that where we are heavily working on is the, let's call the Fiorization of our maintenance views. So in the add-on, we have plenty of configuration tables to set up the system, plenty of configuration tables to maintain switches, default values, and so on. As this is, of course, pretty outdated, and everybody's more or less using S/4HANA Fiori apps. So this is now transferred to RAP business objects and a Fiori app, where you can then maintain all those different add-on tables in S4 Cloud, which makes also then the add-on available on S4 Cloud. What we're also working on is supporting the account assignment category X, which is also a feature that becomes available with Fieldglass with the November release. So we start into supporting that with the add-on in our lean services scenario for enhanced limits. This will be definitely in the future then also be extended and for other scenarios. But for our April release, we are working especially on the enhanced limit position in our lean services scenario. What we are also working on is, you may know, we have plenty of enhancement spots and baddies within our add-on to support customers to work in their custom requirements, custom checks, custom mappings, and so on. These baddies again are available only in the old SAP GUI transactions, SE18, SE19, where you can maintain them and implement them, but not in the custom logic app from S4HANA yet. So this is being then also the baddies, same as the, let's say, all the add-on tables where you maintain data. So the baddies are also moved to be available on S4 Cloud in the custom logic app. And again, some things we are working for S4HANA, especially our master data extractors will get new versions based on released CDS views instead of the database tables that are used in our existing versions of the master data extractors. And what we are also working on, and you see a lot of things going towards cloud, S4 Cloud. We are changing where it's available. We are changing from business workflow events to RAP events in our solution. Of course, only the RAP events that are being released to date. And maybe just as a brief outlook on future releases, we are definitely looking on the pub sub functionality that is available in Fieldglass and is being enhanced and extended to be able to use and utilized by the add-on. So we are looking into this in the future, as well as we are looking into the future on the new collaborative plant maintenance and project structure, project system integration version. Good. So good so far. Maybe one last thing, not directly related to the release update, but I always like to mention it here. We are not only the software supplier for the Fieldglass integration add-on, we also support customers and partners with our various service offerings. So this could be, of course, in the area of the integration, where we are doing the deployment of the Fieldglass integration add-on, but also support with advanced integrations that go beyond the standard delivery. But we are not limited to those integration topics in our service offerings. We also do consulting services for Fieldglass application, supporting with end-to-end Fieldglass implementations, helping with solution design, rollout support. But we also deliver guidance services or advisory services for partners who implement in terms of quality assurance or design reviews, delivery guidance. And last but not least, we also offer trainings, training on the integration add-on on the one hand side, how to implement, how to monitor, how to extend, and so on. But we also have a training in place, which is called the Fieldglass Delivery Bootcamp, where we enable partners who would like to go the journey in selling and implementing Fieldglass by themselves, to train them in a 3-day in-person on-site training from the beginning, so handover from sales to delivery to the very end, with a handover from delivery to the operations team, how Fieldglass as an application is being implemented, and this is totally independent from integration. Good. That's it from my side. We have 5 minutes left, so we can open it up if there are any questions. I'm happy to answer them. I don't know, Alex, are there any questions already in the chat?
No questions so far. I think we can wrap it up.
All right. If there are no questions, or if there are questions at a later stage, please feel free to reach out to myself. Happy to reply to those questions whenever you have them. Otherwise, thanks for your participation, and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.